Hey, what's going on, guys? Alex from Angler Sports Center. Today we're going to talk about trout fishing. DNR is stocking a lot of these usual places where they do in the spring. Now it's just their fall season. So get out there, check out the Maryland DNR website, because most of these spots will be hit once, maybe twice for the fall season. And if you want some fresh trout to take home and eat, this is the time to do it. So let's go over some of the stuff that we have here that works really well for them. Now we're going to start over here with some of your lures. Now, one of the most used lures for stock trout, or just trout in general, are the Panther Martin inline spinners. As you can see, we sell a pack of 3, and that pack of 3 comes with probably the most useful colors that you're going to need for out there. Holographic rainbow trout color works really well. Your classic gold blade and silver blade. Typically, if the water's a little bit dirtier, I like to use a gold. If it's cloudy, I like to use a gold. If it's nice and bright, clean water, I'll go with the silver. Now, if you are a guy that likes to sit, relax, and just wants to throw a line out there, 2 great baits to use out there, and there's multiple ways to rig these. Power bait and some of these power bait floating worms. Now, we're going to talk about the rigs for these. If you're using power bait or the worms, you can actually fish them on the bottom. The reason why is because both of these items will actually float off the bottom. So, you can rig your own, or you can buy pre-rigged rigs for them. And the way we're doing this is essentially a Carolina rig. As you can see here, we have some of the brands that come pre-rigged. They come with 2 little weights, a short leader to a snap swivel here. Now, this is pretty short. This is going to be roughly about 4 inches off the bottom, but you can play around with that. If you don't want it to be that close to the bottom, then I will recommend that you rig your own. And we do have all the items here for you to rig your own. We don't want to use super heavy leader for your, leader going from your swivel to your hook. We want to use pretty light leader. Now, I recommend going with either, at the heaviest, 8, 6, or even 4 pound. 6 pounds right in the middle, so this is going to be what I recommend the most, and I do recommend going with fluoro. Remember, some of these fish are really finicky. They can see everything. So, what we're going to do is you're going to insert a pretty much egg sinker into your main line, tie it to a swivel or a snap swivel like you can see here, and then you're going to pretty much tie however long you want it to be of line, that 6 pound fluoro, to your hook at the end. Now, that can be anywhere from a foot, 8 inches. Play around with that depending on how deep you're fishing. Hook sizes here. Most of the guys, since you're keeping the fish, will utilize these treble hooks, and it is legal to use them for trout on that power bait, size 14. Or like most of us here like to run this little tiny single octopus hook with the size 10. Cover the whole thing with power bait, or run a small piece of this floating worm on it, which will float off the bottom. And you can kind of, bounce it on the bottom, let it sit there. But those are pretty much your 2 ways to rig, these items here. Or just let them sit there. Once again, play around with how far off the bottom you want it, depending on how deep you are. And you will catch some of those amazing little tasty rainbow trouts, and even some of those golden palomino trouts. So get out there and try to catch them up. And don't forget to stop by here and get all your essentials before you get out there on the water. And have a good one, guys.